All right. Okay. Hello and good evening. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. If you'd like to, please, we will be opening up the SEO Mastermind back for the non-private group. We've been hosting a very private group with just a few select people, but we will be opening it back up. We, as in me, I'll be opening it up to almost everybody. Please sign up. I'll go through the signups and I'll select the 20 people I'd love to have share time with me every single week. If not, you're always welcome to, of course, sign up here right on YouTube. We're here every single Thursday. With that being said, I'd love to have any of your questions, but we're going to take a look at a client, a potential client, right? He is a videographer. His name is Adam. All right. I told him I'd take a look at his asset. He thinks that there's some stuff to do, and we're going to take a look and go through it. Hopefully, these tips, these strategies for local SEO and Google rankings can help you and your business. Again, my name is Chris Palmer. Please feel free to head on over if you have the time. If you don't, that's okay. But check out SEOmastermind.org. Okay. Let's go to SEO Mastermind, scroll on down the page, just fill out this little bit of information here. First name, last name, email. I'll go through. I'd love to chat with you. You can also send me an email if you'd like right here. You can read through and see what we're about to do. All right. But that's up to you, of course. Now, with that being said, you can feel free to go ahead and get your questions in. If you have any questions related to Google Business, Google Maps, local SEO, ranking on Google, AI SEO, pretty much anything and everything to do with SEO. I've been doing this for a long time. I've made every mistake there is. Trust me. I've tried every shady way. I've got my fingers caught in the cookie jar in multiple different ways. Okay. And I can certainly help save some of your time. All right. So with that said, let's take a look at Adam. All right. Good old Adam here. It's quite funny. I was having a conversation with Adam and I said, dude, you're in business, right? I was like, I'm going to show it live. Is that cool? He's like, oh, I don't know, Chris. I'm like, wait, you have a Google business profile. You have a website. You are in business, right? Meaning like anybody could find this. And in fact, you want people to know who you are, right? Yes. Okay, well, dude, I'm just going to take a look. There's no problem. Take it easy, bro. He's above board. He does everything by the book. He's a great guy. He's a wedding videographer, a videographer. Videographer? Videographer? Something like this. All right, let's take a look together. All right. So his name is Adam. Nice guy. Sweetest guy ever. Adam Gorham, videographer. I forget. Okay, here he is. Look at this. Classy. Look at this. Very classy. Class act. All right, first impression. We have the video looking clean. I assume he took these photos. That's not him. Great people, great venues. This is beautiful. Something you would want to see. No, I would assume, remember, know your customer, right, Adam? Who do you have to sell? I've never wanted to be married, but if I did, I would assume I would say, honey, where would you like to go? Who would you like to use? Right? That's me, but that's me, right? I would venture to guess that most gents are like this. Maybe not. I don't know. But remember, if that's who we're selling to, let's appeal. So I like that you have these moments, these captured these moments. This is good. I like this. You may want to show a few more. All right. Maybe some type of music, right? With layering, music with layering of something happiness. Layering of sounds has a feeling. Okay. Up to you. You can read about that, but let's get into the SEO now. All right. I'm not a designer by any stretch of the imagination, but I know about CRO. So as we start scrolling down here on them, this is interesting. This hold here. I don't know about this, but okay. That's up to you. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, this is nice. This is a nice photo. Beautiful photo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful. There is my guy right here. Young man. Nice teeth. Nice camera. Beautiful lens here. These look like Gucci. Good for you, man. That's good. That's good. Good, good, good. Beautiful photos here. All right. So one of the first things I want to take a look at is I want or establish is the homepage is really the about us, right? You know, this is the main hub. This is to say, hey, I am Adam Gorham Films / what I do and where I do it. So this about section is probably the information that I would want to have, you know, you're talking about yourself. That's the brand. That's you, you know. The portfolio makes perfect sense. The resources I would like to have, about could be maybe pricing or something along these lines. But this information, in my opinion, should belong on the homepage. I have two competing pages. When I take a look at this, watch, we'll go here, title tag. Look at this, Adam Gorham Films. So brand name. We come inside here. This is the H1. Look at this, Adam, right? So I bet you if I take a look at this, if I were to do a site colon, all right, there's something called sort order, all right? So sort order is, if I do it here, I'll show you exactly what it is. Watch. Okay. This is the importance of pages according to Google. Now I'm betting, I don't know yet, I'm betting that about us is either first or second in the list. I could be wrong. I've been wrong lots of times. Let's take a look. Okay. I was wrong this time. Great. I'm glad I'm wrong. Services. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So the sort order is services. Oh boy. Oh, I see. You're repeating it every time. Oh my gosh. Every page, each and every page, Adam, needs to have a purpose. I dislike that the world is this way, but unless there is value, right? Money is gained when value enters the market. The reason why you're able to get dollars is because you're applying value to the marketplace, and it's worth the exchange of monetary value, right? In SEO world, right? Every page needs to have value. So when I create a page that inside the URL bar, it's my second most important page, according to Google, and I can tell this by the sort order, right? And there's multiple reasons why this could be. This could be external links coming in. This could be the internal link flow. These are usually the two most important reasons. If this is the case, why is this hub page not named the primary service term, videographer, right? Because if I take a look at this, when I come over here, I have a top level page, I have an about us page, and I have a services page. This service page, when I take a look at these, this goes to contact, contact, contact. Okay. See, this about us, oh my gosh. Brother. See this type of stuff? This is what would go on the about us. Okay? My top level page is videographer. I am AdamGorhamFilms.com / videographer. The top level page leads to what? Well, I'm a videographer in, well, let's go see. Where do you operate? Let's take a look at this. All right, here's what we're going to do. Bring you over here. We're going to open up what is called Screaming Frog. This is a paid tool. No, I'm not affiliated, but it's a great way to get a screenshot or a snapshot of the website. All right. Now, we're not going to go through all that, but I will put this in here. We're going to take a look here. So what I want to see is I want to see the internal link flow. I want to see where the internal links go, and I want to see what you say about yourself. So far, I have 3 pages that should be consolidated into one, right? So if I have a bunch of pages that I'm saying, hey, Google, come on over here and take a look at this, right? Because that's what you're doing essentially. You're saying, hey, Google, come take a look at this. But there is zero value, right? From a human standpoint, from your standpoint, you're saying, okay, here's the homepage. I'm Adam. I have a services and about us, but all 3 pages say the same thing, and it should all be on the home page. Are you with me? The home page is I'm Adam, and I want to send you to my service pages /videographer or website.com/videographer plus city. Are you with me so far? Excellent. Now, when we take a look at this, we're going to take a look at a visualization. But first, we're going to wait because it's not done running yet. All right. I don't like the structure of this. I also don't like the way the internal link flow is so far from looking at this because I don't see anything in primary optimal zones, meaning header and footer. I don't see anything. Oh, okay. I do see something down here. So I have Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine, NYC. Yeah, but doing what? You have the most control over your own website, sir. Okay? What does this mean? Well, if I'm pointing to a page for, say, Boston videographer, what internal anchor text do I want to use? I want to use Boston videographer. Why? Because there's 2 things going on here. One is I'm passing internal relevance to a page, but also internal links is how I communicate with the bot, and say, hey, this is what I'm about. This is what I do. This is where I am. This is who I am. Are you with me? It's very critical. This is why I hate saying home, because then when I go and I look at the internal link flow about what I say about myself, it's home across the board, right? And then people wonder why, hey, my website won't rank for anything, or my homepage is at the top. Well, the homepage is ranking because you've internally linked it across the entire website and built all of your external links into that page, screaming to Googlebot, hey, this page is important, right? But really what's important is the value that you add to the market. Your service pages, your service location pages are most valuable, not only to the marketplace, but also to you, right? So this is a blunder on your behalf. All right, so I do see some good internal linking. I'm starting to see some, but I do not believe that there's enough. I'm talking in order to get a screen a share here. All right, so we have a full crawl. So we have, wow, 1,400 pages. What in Adam Gorham's name? Oh boy. All right. Okay, so all of these are 200s. So you have every single page forward facing into the index. You have paginated pages being shown. Okay, this is blocked. You have blog pages. You have paginated pages. You have tags. You have... If the page does not have value for you as a business, AKA, if you cannot offer something of value, whether it's information or high commercial intent value, then the page should not be shown and indexed. Are you with me? Now, I completely understand if you're utilizing a strategy and you want to say, okay, no index follow, that's fine. But you have everything indexed. You have category, you have tags, you have all kinds of junk in here, 1,400 pages. Insane. I don't want to dilute the website. This is dilution, my friend. Okay? So you want to take a look at your pages. Keep inside of here the most important. All right? Fort Myers. Okay. Okay. You have a page called Home? What is this? Why does this exist? I have a top level page that's indexed called Home. I have a page that's a hub page called Services, and then I have a service area page. Why? Okay. we're going to go through this. I'm just getting a general consensus here of what we have going on here, and then I'll give you some recommendations based upon what I'm seeing here. Cart is no index. This is canonicalized. So canonicalized, but why are you running ads to this page? It's still a 200 non-indexed canonicalized back, but why does it exist? Unless this could be an ad page. I guess there's value there of some sort. I don't understand what. So this is the big keyword, Rhode Island wedding videographer. Okay, got it. And then you have, okay, oh goodness gracious. No. So hold on. Oh my gosh. Dude. Okay. All right. All right. This is madness. Wedding planning tips. Is a category under blog. Look at this. You're 1, 2, 3 levels deep. Oh my gosh. This is madness. All right, brother. I see some issues here. Okay. So what I'm hemming and hawing about here is that I have a top level page called blog. This right here. Okay. So if I open this inside the browser, as you can see, I have a top level page. So this right here is called blog. I have a page called blog in the slug. Okay. And hey, some non-SEOs would say that's not so bad. You're right. There's things that you can do and get away with, but it's suboptimal. I want to be optimized for I'm Adam Gorham, and I am the best wedding videographer /videographer, wedding videographer in where? And then everything that's on the website. And what I mean by everything, see how you have 9 billion pages here? Blog, 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 blog. Each of these blogs, informational, right? Or AKA prompts now that we're doing this AI nonsense, right? Each of these pages are supporting the idea that Adam Gorham is the best wedding videographer in these locations. The most common questions that you'll always see, okay? Even if you go and check the AI overviews, it's always prompts that answer what? Who, what, when, why, where, how, and do. Okay? And then sometimes you'll see what is called blended SERPs if you want to get site link. And these will be your top and your best. So this is 9 articles to support each of the services that you provide. Okay? So in knowing this, if I know that I'm in Boston, I'm a wedding videographer, that means there's 9 potential things that I could say about myself that would support this idea, right? And this would be semantically correct, not semantically correct. Not like, I see some of these other SEO ideas out there that will say, okay, let's create 1,000 different pages and answer every question. Yes, everything in the world at some point is semantically connected. But unless it directly supports a primary service or the location and service, I don't want it on my site. Everything is semantically corrected or connected at some point, right? So that's not what I want to do. So here's what I'm getting at here. Come on down here. Let me show you this. So author pages, you have tags in here. And these are okay. Yeah, see, that's your problem here. Everything is supporting blog as opposed to supporting. So I like that you have these venues. Now these venues are where? So here, I see all these. So you have like top 5 best, top 5 Boston wedding venues. The best Airbnbs in Boston for wedding readiness. It's first look worth it on your day. Oh, geez. Top 10 Cape Cod wedding venues, right? Like, this is cool. And that's top. And that's best. Okay, that fits. But it's all underneath blog. So here, I want to show you or point out to you two things before we start getting into internal structure, okay? Now seeing that at the end of the day here, let's go inside of here. All right, here, let me show you something here. Let's do this together. Let's come on over here, Adam. You want it on this board or you want to do it here? We'll do it right on here. That way it'll be easier for you to see. Okay, here, WHITE whiteboard. All right, because I don't have to mess with the camera. All right, so right now, as it stands, okay, bro? Oh, look at this. I was already thinking about you before. Here. I was already thinking about, I forgot before we started I was going to do this. Okay. I was already thinking about you, dude. Here. So currently, copy. Let's come on down here. So you and I know that we are, all right, so here's your areas. Connecticut, Orlando. Okay. So let's first and foremost, let's lay this out. Okay. This is the homepage, right? That's pretty blatant. Okay. Now your current structure, I dislike immensely. Okay. Structure is everything. How everything supports and the internal linking is why we would want to make a change. Okay. You will significantly increase your overall rankings, and I don't care how old it is. There's more detriment to the overall website at this current layout, in my personal opinion. Okay. All right. So I know how it currently is, and I don't care about that. Wedding video here. So I get my kahunas busted by you later. Let's go out here and get this. Wedding videographer. See, this is mind-blowing. You actually have it here. Wow. Oh my God, and you have the same exact questions. Stop. Oh my God. Madness. Okay. And then you have the same repeating facts. High commercial intent pages are not informational pages. Okay? When you are the expert or the best in your field, you are not, you wouldn't make the mistake of miscommunicating commercial intent and informational intent. See, an expert doesn't make it, it makes a clear distinction on its content. It's the expert. So if I'm on high commercial intent pages, I'm not asking and answering questions. I'm not on the high commercial intent page answering questions with question marks and that type of content. It's not that type of intent. If I'm on wedding videographer Boston, I still answer the questions, but I do it so in a statement. I can still give the information, but it's phrased. The syntax, the sentiment of the content is, this is a statement. This is coming from an expert. All right. Are you with me? And then to repeat the same facts across the site, this shows a lack of expertise. This is not what we want. Okay. So here. So currently, all right, this is your big primary key term, wedding videographer. Now you have a page, okay? You have a page that's called blog, okay? Now, I don't want to have wedding videographer. Why? Because I don't want as the blog, and I also don't want to use tips because I want to stay hyper focused on my expertise and what I am the best at as far as for your service. Okay. So on our blog, we still want this resource and I still want supporting content. But what I would do here is I would build a page, and it's up to you, on either it being videographer or wedding videographer. And instead of having a page called blog and housing all of my content on it, I want to house all of my content. And what I mean by house is right now you have a page here. Look at blog. Every single piece of content is here, right? But the problem with this is the top level page that it's supporting in structure. Because remember, there's humans and then there's the bot and there's what matters. I first need to answer the queries and be professional in Google's eyes so Google sends their customers to us. Remember, it's all their stuff. So how do I position my brand and my business and my services to be the professional? Well, structure, syntax, sentiment, right? All of these elements work together. So I don't want my structure from the very beginning to not convey that I'm the expert. I need to convey from the very beginning that, okay, my informational content is supporting the main idea, but I don't want to cannibalize myself. So in order to successfully do this, what we will do is we will have videographer. Why? Because right now your bread and butter is wedding videography, but I don't want to box myself in because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring, right? So here's what we'll do. We'll have videographer, and then we will have, 5 best wedding venues, right? Boston or whatever. Martha's Vineyard. You know your content. You have 1,500 pages on your website. So this way, in the structure, I'm underneath videographer, which will allow me to be relevant for all the supporting terms, all those prompts and all those questions. Because remember, a page, an informational page like this, yes, it's optimized for Boston and wedding videographer, right? But a page is 1,500 words, 1,700 words, 2,000 words, and a page ranks for more than one term. So now I'm answering different prompts within that article where I can be relevant all over the place. Are you with me? So this is what we want to do. We want to have our top level page, our blog page, turned into videographer. Then we will put all of our supporting content underneath, just like you did here. But now it's supporting a primary key term, a head term, a topic, an entity, videographer. I am Adam Gorham /videographer. You with me? The structure conveys my expertise. Okay? Now, here's the next thing. Let's go to one of these articles. The only reason you have information, we already know that it converts at a far less probability. The conversion rate is far less, right? So if the conversion rate is far less, it's not because we care that, I'm not going to bust a sale because of it. But now I can position my brand and my services to all the different similarity-based engines out there, right? That I have the answer. When I have the answer on all of the engines, I am perceived as the expert. On top of that, I have the answer in multiple vector types, meaning I've answered this question with video. I have imagery that conveys the answer, right? Even just this image. Is this image in Boston or in this case, Orlando, right? You with me here? I have video. I have my content. That's lexical. That's content. I have video. I have the images, and I have me, the brand. Now that we've talked about this, all right, the first thing I want to see you do is I want to put and house each of my informational pieces underneath a category that actually makes sense for my brand. And what that is videographer. Even though I know we focus primarily on wedding videography at this time, I don't want to box myself in, nor do I want to cannibalize myself as we move forward. So this here is going to be your informational content. Okay, this is info. Okay, this is your homepage. All right. Now, let's take a look at these pages. When I'm on this page, like I was starting to say before I went off on a mini rant, I apologize, was that this is not because we want to, in order to increase sales. Yes, it could potentially help, but it's farther up inside of the actual funnel, right? They're not in buy mode. They're in informational mode, okay? With that being said here, I have two goals. One is I want to push internal link flow to the pages that are high commercial. Why? Because it'll help those pages rank, and that's the purpose of these pages. The second reason we have this, other than the information, potential sales, to give the customer a lot more information, to show up on AI engines, right? The list of informational content goes on and on. It's a good thing to have. But the other piece is I still want to build external links in, and I don't always want to have to pay $50 for a link. So when I'm trying to increase the overall external equity, these supporting elements or these supporting pages are great assets. Why? Because if something were to happen when I'm buying lower cost backlinks, I can always remove a supporting piece of content. But I cannot remove a ranking page for my top level high commercial intent page, right? Kind of like I don't want to build risky links to the homepage, because if I burn the homepage, I'm done. If I burn a blog page, who cares? I'll make a new one. You with me? So it serves purpose for internal link flow, and it helps for the external links being built in, okay? Amongst a million other reasons. So on this page, when I look, I'm going to look at the internal links here. So here's internal, okay? So when I take a look down here, anchor text is what I say about myself. This is so important. I cannot stress this information to you enough. You're using very generic terms: services, portfolio, blog. Be descriptive. And if I'm building internal links, this page right here is this is Orlando Wedding. There's no internal links pointing to the wedding videography page in Orlando. Why? That's the whole purpose of this page, right? And on top of that, not only did I not do it once, I don't have it more than once with variations. Remember, I want videographer, wedding videographer, Orlando videographer, Orlando, Florida. Like, try to get 2 to 4 internal anchors pointing over to your high commercial intent page. Like this right here. You have this, right? I have it under blog. So let's just say this. All right, let's just take this as an example. Okay, just so I can hammer this home. Here's the example that we're going to utilize. So we have Adam here. Okay. All right, so Adam has this page. Now, currently, I dislike this. It's under blog, but this is an Orlando wedding, and we're supporting the Orlando wedding videographer. The terms that matter to us, okay, this is called anchor text. This is internal anchor, right? We know that the internal link flow is diminished after 2 times being used. But what's counted? Well, the variations of anchor text are counted. So get your 4 primaries, right? And here's what I mean. So this is called anchor text. So when I internally link to my page, and I'll show you which page in a second, I want video, I might spell it wrong, but you get the point. Videographer, right? Videography Orlando, right? Videographer Orlando, Florida, right? So now I have 3. Let's do one more. How about Orlando FL videographer, right? For weddings, okay? It doesn't matter. But what I've done now is I've used very rich internal anchor text, and I'm using these 4 anchors, which is every variation, and you can mix it up. You can even add more. You cannot overdo it with internal links. You're passing more relevance to your high commercial intent page. Very important, massively important, okay? So here's the page. This is what is called supporting content, okay? So here, this is support, okay? This is the anchor text that we're going to send. This is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 separate internal anchors. Where would we send it to? Well, we're going to send it here. Okay. Wedding videographer. Okay. You with me? So now this shouldn't say blog. This would say videographer, however that is, right? So look at this relevance. Not only am I getting credit for the URL, right? I'm saying primary key terms. I have two separate pages talking about, I have the brand, Adam Gorham, who's a videographer and a wedding videographer, right? / videographer, which that's Adam Gorham. And on top of that, I'm giving information. I'm going even further, even deeper. My depth of concept, my expertise is so deep that now I have a page that's supporting videographer, which is Adam Gorham, building 1, 2, 3, but 4 internal anchors with every variation to my high commercial intent page. See? Now, the reason why this is that was 4. You just built 4. Okay? Now, when we take a look at the visualization, internal anchor text is what you say about yourself. Go look at the winners. Okay? What they say about themselves is massively important. Most people focus on external links coming in. What about the links that I say to myself? So here, look at this. Let's see. Now, I spoke to this gentleman already. Let's see if he's picked it up. He may have, he may not have. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what is called the word cloud. So look at this. So the most relevant thing that I say about myself isn't videographer, isn't videography. It's portfolio. If I look across all of the pages, I have said portfolio more than anything else. Do you see the concern? What should you be saying about yourself? Well, I'm a videographer. More importantly, see this wedding and videography? Look how small they are compared to portfolio. You with me? Like click and content are bigger than wedding videography. You've actually said the word click more times than videographer with an internal anchor. There are specific patents for the way that anchor text is utilized, whether it's external coming in or internal passing. Okay? So important. Take full advantage of it. Why do you think? See, they thought that, remember when Brian Dean, they thought he was a genius because he was putting those things up at the top? That was internal links. Jump links are internal links too. This isn't a new concept, my friends. Okay? You should be doing this. All right. So we drilled that home. So far, I don't like the structure. You're not using proper internal linking. You're not utilizing your internal anchor text. Now let's take a look. So hopefully so far you're with me. All right. On top of this, I don't see a section here that showcases the services you provide and where you provide them. Now, you're a videographer, so cosmetic appeal matters to you. I get it. But ranking is senior to cosmetic appeal. Okay? I need to be technically sound before I'm cosmetically sound, in my opinion. Like, I can have the prettiest castle, but if nobody ever comes, who cares? That's like you're a great chef, but no one ever comes, you know? So let's move forward here. If you want it to still be cosmetically appealing, say you don't want a big bar here, or you don't want these drop downs and mega menus, make a hamburger menu. Most people are coming in mobile. More importantly, Google is coming in mobile first. Okay? So use a hamburger menu. Get your primary locations and anchor texts into the header and the footer and multiple times within the body content. That will like if I had a header and a footer that said the locations of the services, plus on top of that, I used 3 to 4 internal anchors on each of the pages pointing to the pages they support or to other pages. Can you imagine? Like just that alone would get you back into the game. But let's take a look at your optimization. All right. So your structure is off. Your internal linking is off. Your internal anchor text is off. Your layout is off. The format is off. There's no calls to action. There's a lot, brother. There's a lot, but let's see the optimization because that's what you came to me for. So let's go down into here and let's grab Boston. Okay, it's your first one, and I think that's where you are. I don't really remember. So you are in Mass. Okay, so Boston would be your biggest city. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to Boston. All right, so we need to see who the true winner is. Boston, Massachusetts. Now, the true winner is a very important thing to understand. The true winner will be inside of the map pack locally and also in the top 10 organic. All right. Now, they need to be the true winner in both sections with the geo-modified term and the non-geo-modified term searching from the location. Once you identify 1 to 3 of these winners, true winners, this is when we can start dissecting their off-page strategy. Okay. So, let's see if you have any questions so far. And it's great to see you. It's been a while. I needed some time to myself, to get my mind right. Sir, my EMD is not ranking. I'm struggling. Okay. I'd love to help you. What is your EMD that you're struggling with? That's very brief information. I would love to help you. You let me know how I can help you, and I will. So let's take a look at this briefly, and let's just see if you're even in the ball game. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at Boston videographer. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to open this up, and we're going to search for videographer. Oh, it's a wedding. Wedding. Okay. So searching from Boston. All right. So Path, Etsy, and Bunker. Okay. Etsy, Bunker, Path, not wedding, Shutter, Old, Nicole, Mark, Path. So here's Path. So Path is in the map pack and number 7. All right, so that's a true winner. It's a winner. That is a true winner right there. Mark David. Okay. Easty. So Path. I really like Path. Easy, huh? Okay. Okay, I got you. Look at the bets. 1, 2, 3, 4 bets right here. There's money to be had here. All right, so let's take a look at this and see what is the major malfunction here. Are you even in the ball game? So what we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at overall syntax of the page. Shutter and sound. Are these the same? All right, so shutter and sound moves down. So the knot and wedding wire. Okay, so it's these 3 are the same for each. And the true winner here is going to be the true winner is Path. So they're actually they're not getting much though. They're only getting stuff from probably only getting from the GBP. Let's take a look at this. All right, so what we're going to look at is I just want to look at the overall structure. So 4, 39, 41, 43, 40, 50, 60, 74, 74. Okay, so 74. So what I was looking at in order to lay out, just think about when you were in school, when you lay out your paper, right? You're laying out your paper. You have your headers. You have each of the headers or each of the tabs, the indents, right? So that's kind of like what you're counting when you're talking about headers. So I counted 74 amongst the top 3 performers. Okay. Now there's 3 players. Now this isn't precise, but I'm looking for the average amongst the winners. Like what would be the good average? And this needs to be done for every single keyword. Okay. So if I want to win this term, okay, this is the math for this page, for this service and location. Like wedding videographer, well, I need 25 headers. Okay. So when I go take a look at this gentleman's page, Adam's page, his Boston videographer page, I better see 25 headers. If not, well, that needs to be re-optimized. 33. So right off the bat, I am outside of the average where I need to be. I need to have 25. I have 33. So that means I've diluted my headers. Okay. The expert doesn't make mistakes. The expert is going to be at least relatively similar to the rest of the experts. Remember, Google put them for a reason. So what we're looking for are the deficits. Like, okay, the average is 25. Let's get 25 headers. Okay. So the next thing that I want to take a look at is, well, what other winners, because I can't just match and mirror or use AI to crank out the content, but because Adam is actually a videographer and actually an expert, he has the content to actually propel the page. But if Google's looking for 2,000 words and 25 headers, I need to take my expertise and then add that optimization on top. And that's how you become a winner. So when I take a look at this page here, I have 3,700, 37, 31. I see a very similar pattern. 37, 31, and 37. The knot, shutter. Okay. So then again, we take 42, 37, 31, divide by 3. We want to get an average. So I need about 3,600 words and 25 headers. Okay. Around. It's not perfect, but do you think it's a coincidence that all of the winners have roughly between 3,000 and 4,000 words? Right? If you were to take the general consensus or the information that you would hear around the web, everyone says, right, 1,000 to 1,500 words, right? Well, not in this SERP. This SERP calls for 3,000 to 4,000 words. Better yet, how about 3,600? So when I go over here and I take a look at my good friend Adam on his Boston wedding videographer page, I better see 3,000 to 4,000 words. Let's take a look. 1,800. Not even close. And the reason why this matters is I don't have enough co-occurring key phrases. I haven't said the primary key term the right amount of times. I don't have the variations, the co-occurring key phrases, the LSIs. I don't have the right amount of headers, the right amount of optimized headers. I am not optimal. I am not optimal for this term at all. My word count is off. My heading count is off. My optimization is off. Everything is off. My internal linking, my structure, my format, everything. That's why you're not ranking. But you do a darn good job and you're a great guy. But you're not winning because you're not even remotely close to the winners. Unfortunately. Well, not yet, but you will be if you take this advice. So now the next thing that you want to do here is, well, we know, okay, hey, we need 3,600 words, 25 headers. All right. The next thing I want to know is, well, who's the big dog? Who's winning? Right? And I don't care if these are directories. It doesn't matter. Oh, Chris, they have 1,000 referring domains, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. What I care about is what's the structure? What's the format of the page? Right? Because oftentimes you may want to say, oh, hey, they have 1,000 referring domains, but I bet you this internal page doesn't. Right? But what they do is, here, I'll take a look. Here's why a lot of these guys or these companies will win. Look at this. Boston, wedding videographer. Look at these. They have Boston, wedding, film. Film is not only entity, but it's also a co-occurring key phrase to video, right? So they have co-occurring key phrase and they have a high density. The top 20 terms are all entity or primary key term or LSI. Look at the optimization here. Look at a ceremony, real. Look at this. That's co-occurring key phrase. Look at the top 20 words. These guys are hyper optimal for wedding videography. This is not a coincidence that they're at the top, right? They are optimized for this term heavily. Look at these. This is the layout of the page. Boston, wedding, film, day, special day, entity, LSI, co-occurring key phrase. You with me? Shutter, look at this. LSI term. Hyper optimized, 63, 2% of the page. Let's take a look here. 80 times they say it. Wedding, vendor. So what you do is you take the top 20 words from the top 3 guys, you gather them all, and then I'll go optimize for all of them on my page. You with me? Let's see here. So you got wedding right and you got Boston right. You have a lot here. But you're missing a lot of the other, you even have some extras. So you've taken your time here. But you're close. Your on page is close. So you must have used the tool, which I think you did. Right? You're close. But you're only 25% there. Okay? You have to take a look at the page and the structure. And then the next thing after getting those top 20 words is you want to take a look and see, okay, out of these headers, how many of them have the primary key term? Optimized heading is key here. So if this guy has 4 headers, look at this. 1, 2, 3. So 3, this guy's got an 80, 90% optimization rate in the H tag. So let's take a look at this dude. This is the wedding wire. So he's got 40 headers. So what you're looking for is you're looking for entity, LSI, or exact match inside of a heading tag. If it's inside of the heading tag, that is an optimized zone. Okay? So when I come down this list, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You with me? 5. Almost, look at, again, every single flipping header is optimized. See, these are unoptimized zones if there's nothing. Okay? Look at advertising. So this is stuff that shouldn't be in a header, but it is. Once you get past the H3, there's less and less value, but it's still counted as a zone. It's still a heading tag. It's still HTML. It still has a special place in the HTML alphabet, okay? So yeah, you need to re-optimize your pages. You need a lot of work. I could get you on track, but all right, that's it for today. Do you guys have any questions for me? Adam, text me. Call me if you see this. Text me. Let's get together. I'd love to help you out. If you want this done, if you want us to do it, it's $50 a page to be optimized. You already have the images in the video. Put unique images and video on each page. You want me to optimize the page? $50 a page. You want us to do the schema markup? $20 a page. So $70 a page out the door. Perfect work done. Okay? It's your job to then put the video, get the other multimedia. You need unique image, unique video for each page. Okay? I'll take care of the internal linking. I can take care of the optimization, the schema markup, everything that else you need is done. You want me to figure out the rest of your structure, which I've already done. That's 100.5, right? That's it. It's either I'm going to charge you for time or for the X service. Okay. If it's thinking, I charge by the minute. If it's actual service, I've already sat and figured out, okay, here's how much time it takes. Here's what I have to pay somebody to do it. Here's the skill level. I've already factored everything out and figured out, okay, this is perfect. I run at a 30% margin. Are you with me? So at the end of the year, after everybody's paid and the taxes and everything, it's 30%. I'm not greedy. I'm very fair. That's how I do it. Not everybody's like that. Actually, I've yet to meet almost anybody in the SEO industry that is how I do things. A lot of people laugh at me, but I don't care. I think karma's real. So here, let's take a look at this. Okay. I'm looking for. Okay, no questions? Cool. I love you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time. It's been an hour. Many blessings. I will see you next week. Same Thursday. Every Thursday is the mastermind. If you're interested in joining the testing group, I'm accepting 20 people. I'm looking through each and every one of the signups. Put your name in, name, email. If it's a name that I recognize, if I don't want you in there, you're not going to get in. Okay? I love you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Sign up on SEO Mastermind. I'd love to let you in. If not, you can always be here on YouTube. And if not, if you just want to learn complimentary, I have over 2,000 videos and I will be starting back every single day. You'll be sick of me soon. I just needed a little break. I've been taking a break in 8 years on YouTube. So took my first couple days off here and it's been such a pleasure for me. I love you guys. Thank you for your time. Did you some testing on the best link to use when linking to GMB? Hey, Chris, I remember you did some testing on the best link to use when linking to a GMB. The best link to use is one that shows up on the first 2 pages of Google or another search engine that I can push traffic to and through. It's not the links going to the GBP. It's that I can pump traffic to the GBP. See, Google doesn't care about referring domains going to your Google business profile. But if I can get referral traffic through a link from an originating source, meaning I go to Google, I have a query, I'm searching for, I don't know, who are the best plumbers in Boston, right? All of a sudden, on page 2, I see Better Business Bureau, or I see a press release, or I see a directory listing that's linking to your business, most notably maybe a product or a post or something else inside your GBP. I then do a query on Google. I go to the page 2. I click on your profile listing, your GBP or your press release posting. I look down the list. I click on it and it goes to your GBP and then I end the session. I now have created inside of a session a real click going to your GBP. Very powerful. Better yet, inside that same session, I've also engaged with your competition. Also very powerful. There's lots of strategies, but the link that's the best is the one that pushes traffic. And there you go, Robert. It's been a blessing. I love you guys so much. It's been a great ride. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow. Many blessings. Have a blessed day. I love you guys. Bye-bye.